Okay, welcome back. This is part 5 of my How to Build a Community Site tutorial series. And in the last video, we started making our left and right, columns for the main content area of the site. And I was thinking about it, and I decided that I want the left side to be the larger side, and then the right side to be the smaller side. So, just to fix that real quick, we just have to copy and paste the widths out of each of these and just paste it into the other one. So just like that, it switches the width and height, or the width, just like that. Now, what we want to do now is we want to get this, our boxes, our left and right side columns, we want them to be nice and flush with our main content. So, to do that, we want to put a margin dash right on the right side, and I spelled that wrong. Margin. There we go. So we want to put a right margin on our right column, and we want it to be 25 pixels. And then you can just copy and paste that code, and you want to paste it into the left side and make it margin on the left. So we want 25 pixel left column on the left, or 25 pixel left margin on the left column, and a 25 pixel right margin on the right column. So what that's going to do is it's going to kick it over once we refresh, so you can see it's in the spot where we want it. Now, since this is only 250 pixels, that's kind of small, plus we have this giant space in between them. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to equal out the spaces. So I'm going to kick this up to about 270, so it's going to make this box a little bit bigger. So you can see right there, it made it 20 pixels bigger. And I'm going to make this about 30 or, I'm going to go with 50 pixels larger. So kick this up to 5.3, so 535. We save, and still we want more, so we don't want too much space in between it. So I'm going to kick that up to 40, or no, I'm just going to go with 55. So, okay, that's still a little bit too much space for me. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it up to 565. Fresh, okay, that's good. Nice like 10 pixels in between there. So that's good. That's what I want it to be. So that pretty much finishes the left and right columns. And for now, we're not going to have a background color on it at all, on the left or the right. So we're just going to get rid of the background color. So we just have our boxes just sitting there. And eventually we will fill them in with something. But I'm also going to set a minimum height of these to 100 pixels. And that's going to be for the left and the right column. So, yeah. Now, if I refresh, it's not going to have any visual change. So, I'm not going to at the moment. So, I'm going to go back to the index page. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. And because this pretty much ends this tutorial, at least almost. So, I'm going to go ahead and create the download link for the source code. So, download source code. So it's going to be a link at the bottom here. So if we refresh, we now have this download source code button that's really, really big. I'm just going to change it to source code. Okay, so that's definitely better. We have a nice little source code button down here on our footer to to our source code that we will eventually link off to. And I'm going to change the link to I guess I'm just going to call it source underscore code .php, and I'm going to save it and refresh. So now it links off to a page called source underscore code. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of that. Now what we need to do is we need to create a new page for our source code page. But before we do that, we're going to make it so all of our code here for our navigation and pretty much all of our code except for our content, we're going to make it so we can use that on every single web page on our site, and it's going to be very easy to get to and access to change it, and it'll also change it on every single page. So to do this, what we're going to do is I'm going to create two new files. Whoops. I'm going to create two new files on my text editor, and I'm just going to go ahead and save out these two files. So So I'm saving it inside of the styles folder, and I'm going to call the first one top.php, and then I'm going to call the second one, it's going to be in the styles folder again, and I'm going to call it bottom.php. So what we're going to do is we're going to store all of the code for the top of the website from everything from our div ID content and up. So the only thing we're going to have in here is our full area and our left and our right. So we want to put all of what we just copied in, and we want to paste it to our top page. We want to do the same thing for the bottom, and we want to paste it inside the bottom page. Whoops. And then what we want to do at the very top of our index page, we want to say, put in our PHP tags, and we're going to use the require method, or function, whatever you want to call it. And it's the same thing that I always do for my connect file, and except we're requiring our top and our bottom files, so it's going to pretty much just combine it into one web page, or one page rather. So it's inside the styles folder, and it's called top.php. So just like that. So I'm going to copy and paste it down here, call it bottom.php. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh the page, and you can see it's exactly the same. But the thing about how that is there's not going to be any title. The title is always going to be basixnick.com or whatever you set your title as. So that's kind of problematic. So I'm going to go ahead and close the bottom page, and I'm going to go to the top page. And when we have our title, I'm going to cut it out, all the title, and inside of our title tags, I'm going to put PHP tags, and I'm going to say echo, and then we're going to echo out a title variable. So we want to close, well, we don't have to close it, but I'm going to. You want to go back to the top of your index page, and above our require, I'm just going to put another PHP tags to kind of order it a little bit. So we're going to create a variable, and we're going to call it title, and we're going to say title equals, and right here is what you want to set your title equal to for the index page. So I'm going to set this to basixnick-home. So if I save it and I refresh the page, you can see our title changes to basixnick-home. So that is how we can easily manage that. So if we create our new file for our source code page, and we save it out and save it to our default directory, and we save it as source_code.php, and click save, and if we go back to our index page, and we just highlight everything and copy it, paste it in, and then we change the title to basixnick source code, and we go ahead and click on our source code link, you can see we now are at our source code file. Our design and all of our content is still the same since we just copied and pasted it, and we have our source code title, so that means it's working. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to put the full, and our full is going to contain the links for the download. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw in a blank link for now. href equals, this is going to be a blank link. And the reason I'm putting it as a blank link is that I have yet to finish this video. So after this video, the source code will be available at the source code file, and all of these files will be live on the server. So yeah. So if we just change this text to download source code for parts 1 through 5. Right there, we refresh our page, we now have a link. So download source code for parts 1 through 5. So that'll be there, and once I have the site FTP'd up and loaded up and everything, that will be a live link. So I'm going to stop this video here, and actually in the next video, what I'm going to do is we're going to style our default links, our normal links like this. This blue doesn't really match with our website. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to style that and make it look nice and neat. So check out part 6.